First up is the acclaimed work of Lorenzo Vitturi and the poet, the angry poet himself, Sam Berkson. Vitturi's Dalston Anatomy has rightly caused waves across the photography world and beyond with its playful but thoughtful ode to the unique cultural cocktail that is Ridley Road Market. With the very existence of this market under threat, Vitturi's work is really timely and thought-provoking. And collaborating with Vitturi on his exploration of this environment is the angry poet, Sam Berkson. Sam has been a key figure of the UK poet stream for years, sort of traversing this landscape, and it's very much his domain. And he and Lorenzo previously collaborated. So, without further ado, I'd like to begin. Thank you.
Food is prepared with genetically modified soya bean oil. We can only please one person every day. Today is not your day. Okay, I'm going to start with a little story from Ridley Road Market Cafe. Has anyone been to Ridley Road? Yes. Okay, but I wonder how many of you have been to the Market Cafe. Here's a little story from the Market Cafe. It's buried deep inside the market. It's kind of, I don't know if you know the big, there's like, if you come in from Kingston Road, it's on the left. There's like a big kind of, I don't know what it is, carpet store or something. But you go inside and there's the Market Cafe. Here's a little story for you. Middle-aged men in the Market Cafe sit round a plastic table. They masticate mouthfuls of toast and argue about football loudly in Turkish. They swear in English. Hidden in the belly of the market, the cafe is a strip-light lit lobby with 4 fruit machines at one end, and along another side, a fortune teller's shop on whose door handle today hangs a sign saying, closed. Though behind the curtained windows, someone is moving. The men's laughter is high-pitched, but their competing voices are deep and low. At the head of the table, a thick-set bloke with heavy eyelids and drooping jowls, his back set solidly to the unmanned counter behind him. Short white hair frames his tanned, bald scalp. Grey-black eyebrows extend a little past his face like goshawk feathers. A little bit of pastoral poetry there for you. In one burly arm, where white hairs sweep across tanned skin, he cradles a baby doll. It stares up at him with long eyelashed, ever-open plastic eyes. There you go, you've got a Turkish guy with a baby doll in his arm. Just in case you didn't get that. 60p a cup of tea that leaves a tannin film across the roof of your mouth, sandpaper strong. A woman leaves the fortune tellers and padlocks the door behind her. A man has served his customer and he returns to the table. At the table next to these men, there's a pinch-thin woman whose eyes stare and whose hands tremble, slurps her mug of tea and rocks a pram in which another doll sleeps, safe under her anxious gaze. After a while, she takes the doll back from the Turkish man and places it next to its twin in the pram. She tucks them both up and rocks the dolls gently. Plastic sisters cuddling stuffed animal toys. Party game slotto, rainbow riches. Coins tumble out of the fruit machine. She gets up. She tucks a chair under the table and pushes her pram over to the neighbouring table where the Turkish men sit. Approaching nervously from behind him, she taps the burly bald man's shoulder. I'll be back Friday. My friend's coming then. She begins, stuttering out her words. He twists round his thick-set neck and fixes her with a heavy-lidded stare. So I'll be here, she says, on Friday. My friend is coming. See you Friday then, he says helpfully. Yeah, see you Friday, she says, and wanders out into the sunshine. I'm sorry to say this, but I was cycling here and I realised I didn't actually know where the Ace Hotel was, strange as that might be, given it's a massive building that I've been past many times, but I've never been here. And so I said, excuse me, to a group of people on the side of the road who look like the kind of people you might know, excuse me. And I got this very dismissive talk to the hand kind of hand. And I thought, okay, maybe they're not English and they don't understand what I'm saying. But it then turned out, okay, they weren't English, but they knew where Ace Hotel was. Like and they couldn't eat, I'm saying, okay, in London, you don't know what kind of nutter's going to approach you. I understand that, right? But don't be that hostile until you found out. I'd say a certain level of suspicion, that's fine. But hostility, outright hostility when a man's trying to ask for directions, that's not on. Do you know what? Shoreditch didn't used to be like this, did it? 12 years ago. Right. And in fact, this leads me nicely on to my next poem, because I was commissioned to write poems about Ridley Road Market. It was a great job. I really enjoyed it. It's easy there. It's £1 a bowl for poems in Ridley Road. It's really, just pick them up anywhere. They're no problem at all. And so I was looking for the common themes in this very diverse market. Africans, Caribbeans, Afghans, Turkish, Pakistanis, old Cockneys who live in Essex, all that kind of stuff. And there was certain common themes that emerged, and one of them was this one. This poem was called "It Ain't What It Used to Be." And there will be, during the course of this set, a load of dodgy accents that I won't do very well, but, that's not why I'm a poet. 20 minutes it took to walk the length of it. You couldn't move for punters. It was hard not to rub shoulders. Weekends, weekdays, winters or summers. It ain't what it used to be. 40 years they've been selling the same. Yams, breadfruit, callaloo, ackee. Spittle feels like a supermarket now. It ain't got a character, no sense of family. Ever since the city boys moved them to Leighton, retail shopping just ain't what it used to be. There was a time you'd go down the club and could hardly get a table. Day trips, music, Christmas party. Just the other day I was saying to Mabel, seems like no one goes there now. Social life just ain't what it used to be. 4th generation Ridley trader. All kind of eggs in a range of baskets. Keeping alive great-granddad's legacy. But the family also used to do Hoxton, Wells Street and Chatsworth Market. No, mate, it ain't what it used to be. When the Russians were in my country, they would buy in the market or talk in the street. Now you go to British, to American soldier. They point gun in your face before you can meet. Everyone is enemy to them. Occupations just ain't what they used to be. Farsi Afghan spice importer. He's seen a documentary about cosmology. Now scientists say the universe is expanding, but he reads the Quran and they've known it for centuries. How can an illiterate like Muhammad understand these things? The old days were holier. Spirituality just ain't what it used to be. People don't use the market no more. New shops and cafes sprouting all over Hackney. They'll spend £7.50 on a cake and coffee, and they'll still try to knock us down a few pennies. Don't understand people no more. It ain't what it used to be. And this is the poem in the Ridley Road set. It's very short, but I feel like no one really likes it apart from me. But fortunately it's short, so I'm going to do it anyway. It's about Mary Portas. Mary Portas is the High Street Tsar. Right? She's the High Street Tsar, Mary Queen of Scots, or Queen of Shops, that's what she calls herself. Right? What I like about both those things, which is hinted at obliquely at the end of the poem in a way that doesn't seem to work ever, is what happened to the original Tsars and the original Queen of Scots. Similar ending for them. We can only hope Mary will go that way. Mary Portas wants new footfall to make the market the heartbeat of the community. Anchor the trendy crowd. This place hasn't adapted to its changing demographic. It's got to be relevant to the people moving in. It's not something you buy. say the chorus of Yummy Mummies, where you means we and we means nothing. They don't know how to engage with the new communities. If you had some great little coffee shops or something, adapt or die is the Portas motto, looking for vibrant places where cultures can live side by side and still enjoy the same things. If only everyone would enjoy the same things as me, Mary Portas. Queen of shops, high street czar, chief exec, celeb of the moment. But we all know what happened to her historical antecedents, don't we? If anyone knows Tim Wells, it kind of sounds like a Tim Wells poem, doesn't it? I don't know, that kind of, yeah, you'd have been gruffer maybe. Anyway, yeah. All right, you laughed at it, that's all right, that's okay. It's the first time I got a good reaction to that poem. The next one also, this next poem is another poem, another like theme that I found in Ridley Road. Ridley Road's a religious place. There's a lot of religious stuff going on. Not everyone, obviously, but there's quite a lot of religion. And it starts with a line that sounds horribly offensive, but I just like it anyway. Because I don't know how you feel, because probably a lot of you here are secular, you know, non-religious people, I imagine. And if you like, my opinion on religion is really like, you see the world one way, I see the world a different way. I can't see the world in the way that you see it, but can you stop telling me about how you see the world and not listening to how I see the world? That's my only beef with religion, really. Like, I don't mind you see it like that. Why are you hammering me on the head with it? And the thing that I find difficult to talk with people, I like religious people, some of them, not all of them. I like some atheists, not all of them. But it's the orthodox. I can't stand the orthodox. I can't stand orthodox people. So this is the first line. The boringly orthodox Muslims in the market. Is that okay to say that? No. I don't mind Muslims. Obviously, I've got no problem with Muslims. The boringly orthodox Muslims in the market sell gold-coloured, shiny rhinestone watches for the heliocentric heathen humans to tell the time of day. I've got a feeling like if I hadn't done that introduction, it would have been better, actually, this part. The road to conversion runs via footnotes in the laminated photocopies of a King James text and by way of long-winded proofs of the interrelatedness of the Semitic faiths and stumbles through tedious chauvinism about Islam's sole superiority. Read our book, they say. I've read yours. Really, I say, you've read Life in Transit. What did you think? White robes, moustacheless beards. They sell a watch part to a bloke who haggles hard, but they will not budge. What's a pound between friends, they ask. Clearly it is something neither side will give up. Come out of there, into the air. The salty slime of the fishmonger's fat farm-fed fins. The hanging sheep, lean and muscular, shorn and skinned, headless, footless, reeking of our mortality. Come to the spice stall, where a previously introduced veteran of the Afghan army shows me the cosmos. Its shining 6 digital versatile discs set in the dark plastic of concertinaed pages. He talks glowingly of Dr. Janet Sumner's voiceover and the whole BBC series which showed the deep minds and the giant telescopes that probed the question of the universe's origin and proved the prescience of the prophet's wisdom. Shake hands. The universe is big enough for the both of us. See the suited Christians selling pseudo self-help international cultery. Hear the woman shouting down adultery. Observe the stallholders' gentle mockery. Watch the gangs of Christians wrangle over scripture, the ragged ranters and the smart-dressed youngsters. Hear the baglama played at the Alevi Centre by the latest Nation of Islam paper. Move in closer. A skeptic has a leaflet. It asks him to identify the reasons as to why your family is lacking love. But the older man is stabbing a finger at the suited man who gave it to him. Tell that to a 5-year-old, he is saying. Tell a 5-year-old child that when you die, you're going to live forever, and the child will tell you you're crazy. But you don't know, the man insists. Ain't no one come back to tell us. I live on through my kids and grandkids, and you don't know. You just don't know, he is saying triumphantly. I was afraid our relationship wouldn't survive. I made a vow asking God to solve the problem, the leaflet repeats. But the skeptic's disbelief is firmly unsuspended. Get deeper in. A dreadlocked prophet has a lifetime of thinking with which to shout down this murderous system. And he has schemes for saving us too. The misled mislead, he tells us. And pride and greed keep the rich well fed. Blindly the misled follow those that they should never, never trust, he tells us. If you go on like this, this is where you'll end up. In the marketplace, the humans debate, decide, deliberate, negotiate, and deconstruct.